These are the best PS5 announcements you need to know about. Sony had their State of Play event, and we got a lot of new updates on what games we can expect to see in 2025. So let's see what Sony is working on and if 2025 is going to be a good year. And stay tuned because some of these announcements were definitely not what I was expecting. Okay, so first let's talk about Arcade's Chronicles. The game is described as being an online action RPG with epic large-scale raids, and they are highlighting that it will allow you to connect to an adventure with friends and players worldwide. Which sounds like an MMO, but they're not calling it that, so we'll have to wait and see what this game fully entails. It is emphasized that the game will have a big focus on creating custom homes, allowing players to show off their creativity, so if you're into that, hopefully it delivers on those promises. Arcade Chronicles is expected to release sometime in 2025. Then we have the Midnight Walk, and this looks cool. The game world is handcrafted completely out of clay and 3D scanned into the game, which is why for a lot of people it has this familiar Nightmare Before Christmas vibe. So I might have to pick this one up. It's described as a dark fantasy game, and this was just an initial announcement, so it's expected sometime in 2025. We also got an announcement and gameplay reveal for Hell Is Us. It's a third-person action-adventure game set in an eerie and strange world. The trailer shows the main character carrying around this big sword, and he does some interesting combo attacks with the help of a companion flying drone. The developers are aiming to deliver what they are calling, and I quote, a player plattering experience, where the game won't do any hand-holding, and instead the player will have full control of their adventure by exploring, discovering, and deciding for themselves. Because the game is not going to include traditional aids such as quest markers or detailed maps, I'm not quite sure what to make of this game, but it excites me because of the strange enemy types you can see in the trailer. Time will tell if this is worth it or not. Then we absolutely have to talk about the biggest game announcement for me personally, and that was Ghost of Yotei. This is a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima and won't continue the story of Jin. This time around instead, we have a new protagonist named Atsu. Sucker Punch is wanting to take focus away from Jin's story, and instead, the setting is more than 300 years after the events of Ghost of Tsushima, in a lawless land without samurai clans. Ghost of Tsushima was such an amazing experience that this sequel has big shoes to fill, but I'm looking forward to it. Okay, and then briefly, I want to touch base on some other new games that we already knew about, but finally got some definitive release dates. So first up, we had Dragon Age Veilguard, which will be released October 31st. Not to mention we're getting Palworld released on PS5, and it's now live on the PlayStation Store. And then we got an official release date for Monster Hunter Wilds, coming out February 28th, 2025. And also an entry in the Dynasty Warriors series with a release date of January 17th, 2025. And we also got LEGO Horizons, which is releasing on November 14th. Okay. And then there's even more news. So first up, we got to talk about the remasters. It's just funny to mention this because that's what we thought this whole event was going to be about. But first up, we found out that we're going to get Horizon Zero Dawn as a remaster, and this is going to release October 31st. It's already kind of got some controversy because people weren't expecting a remaster so soon since the game is absolutely beautiful, even with PS4 graphics. But me personally, I'm just glad to get more Horizon with updated graphics. It does look better. But let me know in the comments below if you are a fan of the Horizon series and if you're looking forward to this remaster or not. But this next game really surprised me, and it was a classic I don't think anyone expected we get a remaster of, at least not me. It was Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2. These two games are classics, and if you're into a gothic vampire vibe, you might want to check this one out. It's always great to see classics come back to life, and we can expect to see this one released December 10th of this year. It wasn't just new games announced for State of Play. We also got some interesting news about Stellar Blade, which announced a new photo mode added. And they called it photo mode, but it's pretty intense, and you can post characters and change their expressions, so it's a very beefed up photo mode, if you can even call it that. Stellar Blade also released its soundtrack, which is awesome, and there's an upcoming Nier Automata collab we can expect this year. Nier Automata was an amazing game, and it's clear Stellar Blade was influenced by it, so it just feels right that they're finally doing an official collab. PlayStation also announced a new Chroma collection of PS Slim covers and new controllers, as well as an upcoming limited edition Fortnite controller. Then we had some surprise PS Plus news for the October lineup in this event. So the monthly games for October will be Dead Space Remake, WWE 2K24, and Doki Doki. We're also getting Dino Crisis and Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen, and they're coming to the Classics catalog later in October. And then we'll get The Last of Us Part 1 added to the PS Plus catalog as of September 26th. And that's it. Let me know in the comments below how you felt about all the announcements and if there was anything you wish was announced but wasn't. If you liked the video, leave a like because it really helps. And thanks for watching.